Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Today, it's been almost a week since the final of Eurovision 2022 happened. And since I like to talk, and I like music, and I like Eurovision, I was thinking I'm just going to talk about Eurovision for what I hope not to be more than like 10 minutes, but I know for sure that it's going to be more than 10 minutes and a bit beyond that as well. Because I can't shut up, basically. But I've kind of got the impression that there are some people out there who actually kind of enjoy listening to me just speak about my opinions, which is just a bit crazy, but I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking, so I'm just gonna do that today. And whoever wants to click on this video, you can do that. Whoever just wants to turn it off and think like, oh, I don't care about his opinion, then please click off the video, because this is just going to be me rambling about my own opinions on the songs that were in the final for Eurovision 2022. I can't talk about the semis too in this video, because that would just make it like an hour long. And the thing is, I'm usually not really a guy who cares that much about like results and stuff like that in Eurovision. I just kind of I like it for the music, and I like watching the performances, and I just like listening to my songs and seeing them being performed. It's just that whole vibe of everything that I really enjoy about Eurovision. The whole voting, I guess it's exciting when it happens, but I don't really care that, oh, this song finished above that song. Not too much, at least. If I think something is being criminally overlooked or underrated, then maybe I will be like, I disagree about that. But for the most part, I don't really care too much. So it's kind of not really appropriate that I should be the one sitting here and like, oh, I think this song should have finished above that song. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna try and kind of just chat a little bit casually about all of the songs as fast as I can, which is probably not gonna be very fast. I see now that I've been talking for 2 minutes and I haven't said anything useful yet. So welcome to this video. I'm going to talk about all of the 25 songs which were in the Eurovision 2022 final. Where they finished, we'll start from the bottom and go up. I'm not going to edit or anything in this video, so maybe all of you already have the the order of the songs, how they finished, memorized. I don't know. But in last place, Germany finished. I think everyone kind of expected this to happen, and it's not really because Germany had a bad song, because they didn't have a bad song. And it was really quite well performed, I think. It was passionate, I think, especially the second verse when the rapping really got going. It became very intimate and honest, how the lights kind of turned down. So I kind of liked watching just the performance, but the song was a bit just too bleak for really making an impression in this final, I think, and that's where it just really fell flat for Germany. It's unfortunate that the final was pretty strong, and I mean, since all of the big five kind of stepped up their game this year, there wasn't anything that could finish below it, really. So I think most people expected Germany to get last. 0 jury points, as I see here on the screen, is a bit harsh, but it is what it is. At least he got 6 televote points. So, but yeah, Germany finished last. If I had made a prediction, I didn't make one because I can't do them. But if I had made a prediction, I would have predicted Germany last. I would not have predicted France to finish in 24th place, and the less I say about this, the better it will be for everyone, because I just got my YouTube partnership, and I don't want it to I don't want it to disappear. But France, it's a pretty good song, in my opinion. It's super well produced. It has this own world building going for it. I think the performance was pretty good as well. Like, I don't really get it. It was just this whole hectic vibe of all the electronic and madness that the song really has. And I think the best part about the French song is maybe not for it to be performed on stage. It's for you to get out your headphones and just sit back and take in this whole soundscape of the world that they're building here, and just listen to how all of the sounds just pierce through this the whole soundstage of it. It sounds just so pristine and perfect, in my opinion. I just love listening to it. The production quality on it is so good, and of course that's not noticeable when you watch the performance. But 17 points, 9 from the juries and 8 from the televote. We'll continue because it's gonna make me mad. I said I don't care about results, but for this one, this is one that I really think Maybe I'm just the odd, like maybe I'm the odd one here, and I'm the only one who really likes it. But there have seemed to be a bit of hype for this song. I don't get it. We'll move on. Iceland finished 20th. No, they didn't finish 20th. They finished 23rd and they got 20 points. 10 from the jury and 10 from the televote. Reasonable, I think. I just wanted this song to be in the final just to have it there as a variation. But then I think I made a video where I made my whole ideal final and I ranked the songs. And I think Iceland was very low in my ideal final. I just wanted them to be there and then not really make a big fuss about it. Just have a nice switch up in the selection of songs. But it's not really one of my favorite songs. I think it fits perfectly down there in 23rd. Sorry if that sounds harsh, but it's a 23rd place type of song, I think. Really pleasant when you listen to it, but it's not one that you will remember and just vote crazy for, I think. So it's reasonable. 22nd place for Czech Republic. They got 33 points from the jury and only 5 televote points. So here you see kind of the big impact that a jury can have, especially towards the lower places when the points are quite low. Because if the jury has a bit more, they give points to everyone more than maybe the televoting does. Televoting tends to just have a few favorites and then a lot of the songs get like 4 or 5 points. But the jury kind of spreads them out a little bit more. Czech Republic got 38 points in total. I think it's reasonable. I mean, I like the fact that they were in the final. I didn't have them in my in my ideal final because I liked 11 songs from the second semi quite a lot. But when you watch the performances, this one definitely deserved to make it. I just think like being first out and kind of being overshadowed by other songs coming later on, it just kind of made the whole thing feel like, yeah, this isn't one that we're actually going to vote for, but it's nice that it's here. So I think 22nd place is reasonable for Czech Republic. It tied on points with Finland in 21st place, which I also think is a pretty reasonable position. I didn't really have Finland as a personal favorite this time around. It was kind of well performed. I like the whole lighting scheme and everything on stage, but it's just not really one of those songs that have clicked with me. And I think 21st place is about right. But for sure, like some people would definitely love it. I mean, it got at least 26 televoting points, so there was some love for them. And I think there's really nothing you can complain about that song for, or like the performance or anything. It fit there, it did its job, and I'm fine with it finishing 21st. Armenia finished 20th. They got 40 points from the juries and 21 points from the televote. This has been I wouldn't say a grower for me, but because the song isn't really something I'm all over for, but I think this one was staged so well. I mean, people joke about the material and everything, but I just love the whole concept of it. And when she steps out throughout this hole in the wall, and all of the lights turn like this golden, orange, yellowy, brownish. There's like a super nice color grading to it, along with this structure on the stage and her in the middle of it. It just looks fantastic, I think. And it also just really looks nice when she's walking inside this room in the early half of the song as well. And she's performed it so well as well. Like vocally, it's perfect in every single sentence. I think full package. I mean, Armenia had I never give ratings to songs, but maybe if they had like a 7 out of 10 song, they had a 10 out of 10 performance for it. So, I mean, evened it up a lot for me. And I think they deserve higher than this, to be honest. But I get it that it's 20th. But when I saw it, like the first time I saw the performance, I was like, this could be a top 10 contender. But apparently not. I'm wrong again. That's why I don't predict. 19th place, Belgium. Belgium qualified. That's good enough for me. I think that his performance in the semi was a bit meh. He was a bit like too nervous at the first half of the song, I think. He kind of got into it later. But in the final, it was a completely different thing. Perfect performance. My like nitpick that I have is that I really wanted them to use like this yellow and black kind of color grading that they have from the music video for the opening part of the song. And this performance had like a complete blue setting. It was kind of off-putting for me just because I was hoping so much for this yellow and black color grading, but it's fine. I think vocally he's so good, and the song is just has that attitude and punch to it that I really, really enjoy. So the fact that they made the final, good enough for me. I mean, Belgium has kind of a mediocre track record lately, but nice to see that they made the final. 19th place, I mean, it's fair enough. They got 59 points from the jury. Nice. Only 5 points from the televote. So, well, 19th place, I'm fine with that. Nice to see them in the final. Even nicer, no, not even nicer, but equally nice to see Romania in the final. I freaking love the fact that they made the final. I mean, Romania in 2019, in 2020, and in 2021, I've had all of those songs in my personal top 5, I believe. This time around I didn't, but still pretty high. And just thank God Romania finally made it back to the final, because this was getting a bit discouraging. But perfect performance. Really liked to see it on stage. It was even more fun than when I first saw it in the national final. Just loved everything about it, really. Super happy that it made it to the final. Can't complain about an 18th place at all. Maybe it shouldn't be higher than that either. It's just a nice song to have in the final, and I love the fact that they made it. And they got 53 points from the televote, which is awesome. Juries kind of killed this one, but it's fine. I'm just happy they made it. The juries evened up Belgium, so it's a win-win situation, kind of. 17th place, Switzerland. They got all of their 78 points from the jury. Maybe not that unexpected. I really think that when you saw it live, especially in the semifinal, that yeah, this looks really good, and he's solid on stage, and it just felt like a complete package that was actually kind of expensively put together and just felt professional altogether. So I don't really think that it's an undeserved place in the final. I'm not. The song isn't really that much for me. It's a bit too slow and a bit too kind of reliant on uninspiring techniques, I think. But at the same time, when you saw it performed, I felt like, yeah, this definitely deserves to be in the final if it ends up there. I probably wouldn't have personally put it there, but I'm fine with it being there. But now when you saw the final and it was kind of early in the running order, it just felt like a bit of a, maybe we didn't really need it after all when you saw the final as a whole. And the televoting, like all of the people around Europe in the televote kind of agreed with that statement, maybe. The juries didn't, though. They gave it 78 points, but that's fine. Switzerland finished in 17th. I can't complain about it, but I wouldn't put it that high. But that's just me. Azerbaijan, 16th. I thought this was super well performed. Really, I think the standout part of this is the final part of the song. Like everything leading up to it, it just feels so choppy and so unnecessarily broken up, if you get what I mean. It moves too slowly throughout the first half of the song, and when it finally picks up, the whole crescendo and climax of the song isn't long enough. So that's really just a disappointing aspect of it, because I love the way it was performed. This could have been, a top 5 contender for me if they just had a bit more polishing for the whole song and really just build it around a more complete concept. This just didn't click in its entirety for me. But when you saw, like, when they show the recap towards the end, you just see this clip for the final chorus. It just feels like, wow, this could definitely be towards the top, and it should be. But then you take into consideration the whole thing that it was, and it's too slow in the opening. That's really what it is. It's a shame. Great staging as well. 3 points from the televote, 103 from the juries. I mean, seems reasonable. The televote kind of, or well, kind of, it really killed it. I think it deserved maybe a little bit more than that, but whatever. 16th place, I think that's reasonable. 15th place for Australia, I think that was really well performed as well. I think the first chorus especially is the standout part at this point. When you saw it performed live and the music gets killed so much and his vocal is the only thing that really grasps your focus for the first chorus, that's just one of these moments where I feel like, whoa, I'm floored. Because he's so vocally stable during this section of the song. He is throughout the whole song, but this section just really highlights how great he is. And I might even say that it's my favorite vocal performance from the final. It could be. I'm just looking throughout the songs here, and I think it could be, actually. 15th place seems fair. I probably would have put it a little bit higher, but it's fair. It got a lot of points from the jury. It got got 2 televote points. Moving on. Lithuania finished in 14th. Just really pleasant to have it in the final, in all honesty, and it got a lot of love from the televote. Kind of unexpected. I really loved this song the first time I heard it, and I still kind of really love it just listening to it. But I really think that it got a bit lost in this final, which is a shame. But apparently the televote didn't really agree with me. So that's awesome. Really awesome. But I prefer listening to it on maybe in a smaller setting. I think it's not an arena song in that sense. I would have loved to just go to a dim lit bar and just have her on this small little stage while I'm drinking some beer or something. That would have been dream scenario. I want that to happen. I should go on a vacation to Lithuania and see if she performs at any bars around there. That's on my bucket list now. Wow. The things you think of when you don't expect it. Whatever. 14th place for Lithuania. Good. I'm satisfied with that. Wouldn't mind if it was top 10. I wouldn't mind if it was towards the bottom either. Just glad it was in the final, really. Estonia 13th. Super well performed. And the perfect way to close the show, I think, as well. It just felt like that. It's this whole elation of the song that comes towards the end of it, and it just felt like the perfect ending to all of the songs. Finished in the top 10 with the televote, which is awesome. The juries gave it a fair amount of points as well. Really happy for Estonia. They sent a good song and they got rewarded for it. And I think 13th is fair. It could have been a bit higher, but no complaints. He's so freaking good on stage as well. You know, he just oozes charisma and what do you call it? Like self. I'm losing my English language now. It's. But yeah, he's very his confidence. Yeah. All right, Estonia 13th, good. Poland 12th, more good. What were the big raindrops on the screen? No. And especially like when the second chorus, when the raindrops are supposed to change into this whole lighting storm or whatever. And it looks a bit funny with the whole camera shaking and everything. But the fact that the big, massive raindrops that cover up the entire screen, they kind of get faded out and then the lightning hits, wouldn't it just make sense if the lightning hit in the middle of the raindrops falling so that it's a direct cut? Because you do all of this shaky effects with the camera. It doesn't make... it looked really, really weird, and I didn't like it at all. But I really liked him. He's fantastic as a vocalist, and he's like the whole stage layout and everything, it looked fantastic. I don't get what the effects were for. Stupid. Got 105 points from the televote though. Nice. I like that. 46 points from the juries is really weird because they tend to really just like elevate these songs with really strong vocal performances, and I see that like Poland got 46 and Switzerland got 87, or no, 78. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think Poland could have had a top 10 with this one, but the effects were ridiculous. Stop. Never do that again, please. Because the staging looked great. I mean, if you just remove the effects, it would have looked so good. And I liked like the whole dancers and everything, the concept of everything. It felt very chaotic. You didn't need to go the extra, like, to make it even more chaotic by making it look stupid. I'm upset. But great song, 12th place, nice. Happy to see Poland get a good result again. It's been a while. Yeah, just nice to see. 11th place was Netherlands. This one kind of got lost for me too in the final, to be honest. And I guess the televote kind of agreed, 42 points. Juries gave it 129. I like this song. It just never really became one of my favorites, but I don't know. It just was there, and it was a nice experience for the 3 minutes. But for me, it just didn't really click that well with me. And yeah, 11th place. It's good, but it could also have been lower, in my opinion. The song is good, but I didn't feel too much for the performance. I don't know. Weird one. Top 10, and I've been talking for 19 minutes. All right, top 10. Norway finished 10th. They got 146 points from the televote. Kind of expected, I guess. Um, Listen, I didn't have Norway in my ideal final, but when you saw the performance, you were just like, yeah, of course they have to be in the final. It's a given, and it's a fun performance. I think it was like in the final, especially. I think it just really worked. It clicked. Everything was great about it, and it's a nice switch up. They're nice characters to just have in the selection. Stands out so well, and it's just for fun. 10th place I think is pretty fair. Like I wouldn't have been upset, but I would have been a bit like disappointed if it had got a top 5 finish or anything. But 10th is fine, it's fair. Yeah, 182 points, nice one. Portugal finished 9th. Hell yes. Like when I first heard it, I was a bit afraid that maybe people would just overlook it, but Portugal is on a good roll right now, and that's awesome to see. 207 points, albeit 171 of them were from the jury, but awesome to see. I think it's a perfect performance, especially in the semi. It just felt like perfect because of all of the songs that had kind of preceded it. It just clicked. It just worked so well. They got a really, like, now when they were third in the running order, it just felt a bit anticlimactic. This should have been a bit further in so that you have got more songs and then this becomes like the breaking point. I mean, of course, this is a breaking point coming after Czech Republic and Romania, but it's too early on to have that. I think it kind of ruined the whole concept of the show when they try and make this whole ideal running order that gives everyone the best chance. They didn't give Portugal the best chance because that song should shine after more songs have kind of preceded it, so it can give this, you know, the calmness and the tranquility of it. But still, 207 points and 9th place. Love it. I think the performance is fantastic. Super, super happy with that. Also, really happy that Greece finished 8th. Great. Just great. 158 points from the jury. Nice one, juries. 57 points from the televote is a bit disappointing, but it's fine, you know. I never really expected this song to win, even though it was my favorite song of the selection. I didn't expect it to win. I was just really hoping that it was going to get, like, you shouldn't really say this in all honesty because you shouldn't compare to others, but I just wanted them to get a better result this year than last year because I think this song is so much better and the performance was as well. I know people will disagree, but that's just my opinion. I mean, I love this song. So 8th place, awesome, really well performed. Like the whole lighting scheme on the stage, fantastic. And I love like the chairs and the layout. And when the camera is from the top, and you just see the stage from above, looks fantastic. Also, the breakdown towards the end, it's so hard hitting, and like her expression on stage is fantastic. Just really liked it. Great. 8th place for Greece, I'm happy. 7th place for Moldova. Maybe you expect me to say that I'm not happy about that, but I am ecstatic because this was the most fun performance of the night for me, for sure. It's just when they came up there, what was it, like 19th in the running order, and you just felt like, okay, here's just the whole joy of everything. I couldn't get my eyes off it. It's just so charming, so much fun, and I loved every second of it. It's not a song that I would ever put on Spotify or anything like that, but it's definitely a song I would just put up on YouTube and just watch the performance of it because it's fantastic. That's, you know, the whole effect of seeing songs being performed. It's what happens to the Moldovan one here. 253 points and 239 of them were from the televote. Awesome. I'm super happy for Moldova to finish 7th. I think they were kind of like when they finished 3rd with Hey Mama, that was a bit too much. I think 7th is just right for these kind of songs. So happy with that. Italy finished in 6th. Yeah, I mean, perfect. I don't think they should have won, but I just got really touched by their performance again, just like in Sanremo. I think like the whole lighting on the stage, and they are so like they have such a character on stage. I think especially Blanco. There's this section of the second verse, I believe, where he's kind of, or is it the second verse? I'm getting mixed up everything. But like when he's kind of attacking, like verbally attacking and moving Mahmoud backwards, it just feels so real and authentic. It really gripped me, and it just works within this whole setting of the song. I think it's beautifully performed. Vocally a bit odd at times, I think. Like they didn't really have that same perfect approach as they had in Sanremo. but just the whole stage layout and choreography and everything, I loved it. Really did. So nice to see Italy get a sixth place. Nice that they were predicted to maybe even win, but I think sixth is a good one. It's fitting. Behind Serbia, which I was always kind of thinking that this is gonna hit home big with the audiences, and it really did. I've seen a lot of people being worried about it, but I mean, it's just one of these songs that you kind of have the feeling that, oh yeah, this is just gonna work because it stands out so well and it's so inviting and addictive. And there's also this whole vibe of the professionalism on stage. It looks fantastic, this whole performance. Even though it's the simple layout, it just looks perfect for what they're doing. And I'm loving this section towards the end where the whole background turns completely red, along with the chanting backing choir. It's just perfect. And the whole section where they're clapping the hands, it grips the audiences at home as well. Even though, like, I think it grips more maybe the people in the arena, but it transmits through the screen, and you just feel like this is an overpowering performance that just really takes over. Fifth place is awesome to see. I'm happy they got that high, and I think it's pretty well deserved as well. And the fourth place went to Sweden, and you can click off the video now if you want to, because I'm gonna be praising my nationalistic love for my country for another time. I've praised Swedish songs a lot in the past because I usually think we send pretty good songs, but when I don't like them that much, then I'm usually quite honest about it. There are a lot of entries we've sent where I've been a bit disappointed by our choice, but this year I was super happy with our choice. It's my favorite song that we've sent since Euphoria, and it might even beat it for me. And I think on the night, it just was the flawless performance. Everything about it, just loved it. It's like they took the performance from Melody Festival and they elevated it maybe not a million times, but they elevated it a little bit further. And she felt so, she has this inviting aura around her on stage. She's a perfect performer for a song like this. And she just has this kind of attitude and the character that she builds up. It's fantastic to see. And the final chorus of it is just, it feels so complete when all of the sounds just join together and she's just living inside the song. It's so hard-hitting, and when I saw it the first time, I felt we might win this. We didn't. Super happy with fourth, but okay, don't listen if you cover your ears now if you think I'm exaggerating, but I think we deserve to win this year. I never say that. I've only said that with Loreen before, but I really think we did this year. But I'm fine. I'm happy with fourth place. But I thought it was the perfect performance. I really did. Spain finished in third. Spain was, of course, before the show, wasn't really among my absolute favorites in the final. It's a catchy song and it's fun and memorable, but the performance, I mean, this is it was something out of the ordinary. Fantastic performance, and super well deserved. I definitely think Spain deserved to be in the top three, and I actually loved watching the performance. It just felt so professional and so perfected to every little detail, and it felt so well planned and well executed. It feels like they put so much time and effort into making this the best performance they definitely could make, and they really just nailed it. And I think her persona on stage is incredible. I wouldn't have been upset if this won, which is kind of weird for me to say that because this is not my type of music, and I'm one of these people who thought that when Fuego came second in 2018, I was a bit, yeah, that's too high. But this time around, I think this performance, I mean, people will express their opinions and disagree with me, but Fuego was, to me, nowhere near as great as this performance. I said it. Take it however you want. We're all entitled to have different opinions. But yeah, this one just won me over completely. I wasn't expecting to love this song so much, but when I saw the performance, it's just perfect. Second place for United Kingdom. I mean, you just get happy to see that, don't you? I mean, they finished second place probably 79 times now, but it's been a while since they did it last time. When was the last time? Like 2002? Somewhere around that era. Did they finish second back then? I don't know, but they haven't finished second in a really, really long time. I'm sure they really wanted to win, but I'm sure they would just be happy with like a top 10. And Sam Ryder, just fantastic on stage. I love the switch up with the guitar solo towards the end. Like the final minute of this song just feels so complete. Everything is just blasted through and explosive and enjoyable. It's also a fantastic song, you know. It's just a good song. And he's doing his vocal acrobatics thingy. It's fine. He doesn't need to do it, but it just works with the whole setting of the song and the performance, I think. And he's so charming on stage as well. It's a perfect second place. It would have also been a perfect winner, I think. It would have also been a perfect top 5 song, but you know, super happy that they got second. Super happy that they won the jury vote. Well deserved. Uh, or maybe not well deserved because Sweden could have won it. Sorry, no. UK definitely deserved to win the jury vote for sure, and they got 183 points from the televote as well. It's just beautiful to see. I'm happy for them. Ukraine won. People said this was a given before the show. Maybe it always was. I don't know, but I never really got the vibe that, oh yeah, this is definitely going to win. I was never convinced. I actually thought that maybe Sweden will win. I'm living in denial, but that's why I never predict, you know. Ukraine won. I mean, well deserved. I love this song to bits, and I think they're so perfect on stage together. It's just one of these super energetic and enjoyable performances to watch. Love everything about it. And 439 points from the televote. Yeah, I mean, there was never going to be a different winner, but also nice to see that the juries gave them 192 points. Super well deserved. I'm so happy for Ukraine or for Kalush Orchestra, and just happy for the contest to have one of these songs win it as well. We don't need to delve into reasons why people think it won or anything. I'm just happy we got a great song to win, and a song that I think a lot of people can really just get behind and say that, yeah, this is a pretty damn great song. And there will always be people who don't like it, but I mean, that's the same case for every song. Every song that has ever won Eurovision, of course, there are a lot of people who don't like that song as well. I have plenty of previous Eurovision winners that I don't like, but Ukraine is definitely not one of them. Stefania is a great winner, and I'm super happy for it to win. And yeah, that's the whole final. And I've given my short little, not short, I see the video is 32 minutes. I've given my opinions on the songs that were from the final. And now, maybe you want to tell me some of yours. You don't have to write a comment about every song because that's going to be both a lot of work for you and a lot of work for me to read. If you want to do it, sure, you're more than welcome to do it. I love reading. I love reading all of your comments. I always do. But you know, maybe you want to, like, maybe you have some that you want to highlight. And if you do, leave a comment. And thank you so much for watching. I hope we'll see if I make any more Eurovision videos. I might. But other than that, I hope to see you next time regardless. Have a good one. Bye bye.